So let's have a start to build our backend server. As I said, so before starting the applications, so that means application need to prepare our backend server, means our database. So that's I said in the presentation, the first screencast. We need to build our database and we need to build our sequences. Then we can use this database and sequences to our applications. So I already built it, these sequences and application. You see that there is a different sequences, the address sequences and registration, user registration sequences and the user role sequences and respective tables. Is there 4 tables is there, address tables, and then you see the registration tables and user role tables, and additional this other application is using. So that means in the last screencast, that the screencast number 32.128, and this was the same backend, same database, same thing is there, but we just today we just change our font in JSP. That's why. So just follow the last screencast more detail. How is it built? And here you see the creations. You create the database, and we create the sequences. Then the sequences will be started from uh, from from 1 to up to maximum number of the what's the PostgreSQL our permitted, and then this is the starting point 240, or it was 200. I already injected the 242 records. You see that, and then the registrations. There's the same thing here. Then it's 300. That's I already did almost 81 records in the database. So the address sequence generations, and this is the other files, the documents sequence. And if it's every user need to upload some documents, like maybe the documents for the CV, or some other information, photos, then we need to update it, because this part is not still implemented. Maybe if I have enough time, then I will do this the implementation. This one, you see there's some data is there, some user role information is there. You can see the user role, maybe address information is there. Let's see. So a lot of this information that we already did the operations, the crude operations. Let's say something is there for the select for the address from address informations. Let's see, it was the table names we generated it. So this is the address info. So let's see. So I see the address information, how the foreign key and primary key link to each other. Even though in the registration application, you see the primary key, and the user role registration application, you see the foreign key and primary key. So primary key the user role, and foreign key is the user registration key. Is properly linked with the model definition in the Hibernate. And then what we're doing here, so we try to see the information is anything is in the address level informations, address informations. Still there is some 5 records is there to insert it in the informations, and that's I show in the presentation part. So when you run this script, I will put it this script to the my GitHub. Is a name same name in the UVSoftGroup in the GitHub. Just you can go there and download it this and check it. It works automatically. So just the screen the generation. So when your backend server getting ready, your database is ready, your sequence generation is ready, your database user is ready, you get their passwords, then you start your application. So how can you start your application? This is the questions. How can you start your application? So you see that I already started application. There is a different way to generate the projects. I will show you how is possible to generate the project. So you can go this way. So you can go the new projects from the Eclipse and or Oxygen or Mars, whatever it is. Then you start your Spring starter project, and then it's just you see the starter project is still because they changed the web pages, the web the service definitions. So or otherwise you can go there and then you see the Spring initializer. You define your project names and then you define your artifactory names and you define your Spring Boot versions. And even though here is you see that your building tools in Maven and Gradle and the different languages of this one. So it's because this is the screencast was last year implemented. I used here 1.5.19 and you can use the latest version with the different for building tools and even though different languages. This is Groovy. So I have a lot of the videos in my channels. You can like Groovy. How can you implement it with Groovy? And here is your dependency. You can start your all the dependency what you need. Just you need to select here one of the dependency, click it here, and then or even though you can start it from here, then rest dependency you can fit it here, and then you need to wave the parent dependency, and then actuator what you need actuator, and then blah blah blah, and JSP JPA you need it, and then it's all the PostgIS SQL PostgIS database, the driver URL. When you create all the dependency injected properly, for our case we need those things. So DevOps, when you means when you write something is automatically compile the code, and REST services is generate the REST requests, and then web means the parent container is contain the embedded Tomcat. An actuator, and in the production level you can see the all the information about your deployment applications, like information application status and application matrices, and how the load testing load application loaded and those thing information. And this is the JSP, and for the Hibernate, and then also the mappings stuff, the persistence mappings, and this is the Hibernate, and then this is the driver to connect to your databases. And this is, if you are in MySQL, just inject the MySQL driver. If you click it and then just zip it, it's produce the zip files, and it's take this zip file to the local directory and import this zip file into the projects. That's I already did it in the project. So I imported the projects, and then I did my insertion, and this is the you see when you insert the application, then this applications is the main method is coming here, the definition of the main method. So let's start to see how is the model part first. So this I say the last screencast. It's important to follow the project structure like this way. This is the structure as a professional. I worked almost 10 years in the developments. That means I saw a lot of things, and that's why I said this is the professional way to manage your source code as a modular way, as a package way, and the professional way. Just follow this one, please. And this is the model part. You see our models, the address informations, and then this address data information if you need to embed it and something like that. And then here is our user role part. And let's continue the part, finish the model part. So that means we need to start here from here. So we already show, I will discuss about the annotation that we use it here. So you see the annotated ID, the generated ID, the user is a primary key, and this is the information for the address ID. So that means if you are in the single page applications, then even though you can register in the address information, which address is assigned to the or belongs to this user, so or multiple address with the user, and the user necessary information, his first name or his or her first name or last names, and even though and the full name and username and password when the user is created and when the last user is modified. That's the things to do for the development. And you see the mapping part, one to many maps. I said the mapping part is here.